Hey, what's up, everybody? Gene here, back at the garage again. Gonna change it up a little bit today. I'm gonna get back on the Cutlass. I think I'm gonna throw the radiator in it. I've got a new radiator for it, but I gotta build a new trowel, and because I'm gonna switch everything over to the electric fans and shit. So I'm just gonna stick the old radiator back in there for now, and I want to get it started up and get it moved around because I ain't started it in a good long while now, and it's been sitting there for a good long time. So I want to get the tired up on it. I got a battery that I've got in here. It's been on battery tender all winter, and yeah, I'm gonna put the old radiator back in and get her fired up. Get some water in it, and I'll probably move it over here closer to the garage. But it needs to be started up. I'm ready for something else to work on. Just taking a little bit of a break from this truck. I do got a video coming up on it. I also got a lot of new subscribers again. Welcome to the channel. I'm going to make a video, and I'm going to go around for all my new subscribers and kind of show them what I've got going on in my shop. And it's not nothing really super fantastic, but I got some interesting shit that I'm doing. And this is my that's my new garage buddy, Doc. He's going nuts right now because he thinks I'm going to leave. Don't you? He's going nuts. These bushings I've been looking for months. Finally found them. Yeah, I can get rid of these pads that I had in there. Tell you what, I snagged this radiator right here out of a Camaro years ago, because when I got this car, it had V6 in it, and I got it, I had to put a bigger radiator in it, so I snatched this one out of Camaro. It's a little bit tight, but it works. I didn't think it was that fucking tight. I've had this thing out of here 100 fucking times. Here we go. Right on, brother. Sorry about that. got her in. I need to tighten these fucking transmission lines down. Ow. I'm fucking smarted, man. Gonna need a jack. Alright, I guess I can give you some info on this car while I'm jacking it up for all my new subscribers. I've had this car since 1997. I traded an old Chevy van to my brother-in-law, and you know, a little bit of yay, not yay, I mean smoke. Anyway, we traded. This had a V6 in it, ran like shit, burnt oil, smoked like a motherfucker. So I bought a V8 for it, put a V8 down in it, drove it around for a long time. Timing chain went out of it. And I was changing the timing chain, and at the front end, the engine all tore apart and shit. And I had a bunch of rags stuffed down in the front of the oil pan because I was scraping off the old gasket. I'm glad that damn thing shut off. Anyway, I was scraping off the old gasket, and a buddy of mine walks up to the side of my car. He said, "Did you get your chain in?" I was like, "Yeah." So he reaches in, turns the key, fires the fucking car up, sucks rags up into the fucking oil pan, all up into the pump, everything, man. Sucked it all up in there. I had a hell of a time getting it out, man. And I didn't get it all out because a few months later the engine wound up fucking blowing up, because when we took the oil pump off and shit, there was actually pieces of rag that was up in the oil pump from where that happened. So dude totally ruined my fucking engine. And so I drove it to Florida. Now I take that back, I sold it. And I went to Florida and was living down Florida. And I came back for a little bit, and I sold it to this dude in my family, and he had sold it to somebody else. and the guy, I guess the transmission went out on him. So I had this car that had wrecked that my sister gave to me. I drove back here. It was just a little Chevy fucking Cavalier, and it was just hitting 100,000 miles. It was actually a nice little car before I wrecked it. So she wound up giving it to me. Anyway, I'm getting off the story. And anyway, we traded. I put another transmission in it, and I drove back to Florida. I was down there for, I don't know, 3-4 years. And while I was down there, I had wrecked it, and I had it in this garage that was next to this place called Checkman, which was actually an old gas station, was turned into a check cashing place. So I'd rebuilt the front end on it and shit. We moved back to Indiana. I noticed that there were some hairline cracks in the rear part of the frame. So I started taking it apart to fix that. And as I was taking it apart, I was finding more rust. The body mount plates were rusted out. Anyway, I had to go in and cut a complete rear clip out of another Cutlass and change it over. There's videos if you want to go check them out. Yeah, and that's I started taking it apart because I wanted, you know, to make it into anyway, I wanted to race the damn thing. I can't think of the words at the moment. I wanted to race it, so I started making it into a race car. I started finding more things wrong with it as I was going along. And then I had it stored over in another town, and somebody vandalized it, beat the fuck out of it, beat the fuck out of the body and everything, which you can go back and watch videos of me fixing that shit. Anyway, I've been doing little bits and stuff to it here and there, and up until today, where I'm putting the radiator back in it so I can get it running. So that's how. And when I was down in Florida and I had it for a while, and I sold it to a guy, and he also burnt the transmission up in it, and I bought it back from him. And he had done a lot more other damage to this car than what he had said he had done in a little amount of time that he'd had it. I had to go pick it up from a police station because they was holding it until he could bring a title down proving that he owned the car or some shit. So I had to go get it from a police station. That's pretty much the story on this car. There's probably a little more shit I could tell you. I just can't think about it. Valve stems are dried out. That's why they keep going flat. my hose is leaking because somebody had cut my hose, so I had to piece the damn thing together. And you know how shitty fucking hose clamps are anymore, and they don't want to tighten down tight enough. All right, what we're gonna do now, get you set up to where you can see what the fuck's happening. Guess I'm gonna put some water in this thing and see if I can find something to get some gas flowing. We got a jug right over here. We'll go get some water. I'll be right back. I got a leak over here. Drain plug's not tight. I got bent, is what happened. Let's fucking leak this shit. Damn it. Since I built up pressure, it's gonna start leaking some more. Looks like the drain plug on the radiator has gotten kinked or something from being moved around or something in the shop, and it was pushed over and it was leaking. I bent it back and stopped the leak, but as soon as the engine starts running and it starts building pressure up and shit, it'll start leaking again. So I'll tell you what I need to do. I probably should go ahead and put a gallon antifreeze in it, because we're still having cold weather at night and I don't want this thing to freeze up. So let me grab a gallon. Yeah, so this is already open. Looks like I've done used some of it. I'll put a little bit in here, man. About 3/4 of a gallon. It's some 50/50. So it's starting to warm up and shit, man. So hopefully it doesn't get down too damn cold. It's probably in the upper 60s right now here in Indiana. All right, looks like the radiator's a little bit. Radiator's full. I'm gonna have to get some water. So when it goes down, pull this up. All right, let me see what I got that I can use to fire this up with. Well, I got some carbon choke cleaner. I thought I had some brake cleaner in there because I usually fire it up on that. And this right here, I doubt. Get much out of this fucking shit. Maybe, I don't know. Oh. Gotta grab a battery. You go get a battery. You fucking kidding me? Ah. Hey, shit, man. This is actually the battery out of my truck. I took the battery that I have for my Cutlass and put it in it over the winter. So it's looking like I'm gonna have to switch them back around. So yeah. I see the not for sale on my windshield. That's because people keep stopping and asking me if I want to sell it all the time. Knocking on my doors all times of the day. So I guess I'm gonna take the battery out of my truck and put this one back in there, because that's the original battery to my Cutlass. All right, let me do that real quick. Gonna lose all of my radio settings and everything now. Open up so many hoods a day, I forget where my own damn hood latch is at. Let's see what I can do here. Now, that battery's even too big for that battery box I bought for the trunk. Alright, man, I went ahead and caved and took the battery back out of the truck. So, see if I can find some way of getting this thing started. Try throwing a little lighter fluid down in there. You normally wouldn't want to do something like this, but when you ain't got nothing else at the moment, it works. And I have used it before to get a car to prime up. Might help if I get the key out the other key ring. Gas this thing's got in it. screws, man. Which I don't know why that would be, because it was when I parked it. It was last time when I parked it. That gas. Looks like the accelerator pump's leaking on this thing. I don't know why. I just rebuilt this carburetor, I don't know, 3-4 years ago. We'll see if that fills back up and the accelerator pump's leaking on it. Definitely ain't running right, man. Like I said, it might run out of gas because I don't know how much is in it. Yeah, the accelerator pump's leaking on this carburetor. Got a little bit of water squirting over here. Either water or gas. Gas. I got a couple of gas leaks. There's more water in this thing. Alright, look this thing up. Here's the Allen wrench in here. Put it in here just for that purpose, and now I'm shooting over the purpose. Accelerator pump definitely leaking off the line over there. Sorry you can't hear me. I've done bought 2 different mic systems and neither one of them I can get to fucking work. I do want to do is pull this thing forward a little Little smoky. I got valve cover leak right there. Accelerator pump's leaking on the carburetor. And it looks like it's leaking on the line there on that junky fucking, them damn junky clear filters that they make, online filters. I advise against buying them because every one I bought eventually started leaking. And they got little plastic tips on them and shit. And I mean, I even wrap them up in Teflon tape and everything. And after a while, they'll start to leak. Like this one's doing. The heat, I guess, makes the plastic brittle. And it just makes it start leaking and shit. Heat from the engine. Alright, this rad's back in. When I'm done putting this in here, I'll show you what I'm doing. I got a new radiator. I don't know if I'd showed it to you yet or not. I bought an aluminum radiator and two 10-inch electric fans. And I went out and bought well, you'll see. I'll show you. Let's get this thing tightened down real quick and then we'll go into the garage. Not cranking it down there super tight because it's coming back out. So just nugging them. All right. Well, let's head off into the garage and I'll show you my radiator. When I was telling you the story earlier about the car and with the mounting plates and everything being rusted out on it, and also was the rear cross member, that the floorboard brace is what it's called. But there's also you also have body mounts on them. Let me flip this around, man. Okay. You got this floor brace. Got this floor brace that goes all the way across the other side. Get shit out the way so we can see here. Now, back then, this was like 2010. There wasn't, they didn't repop these braces. Now they do, and I actually did buy one. But back then, I didn't have no choice but to make my own. So what I done is I come back. You can see how far I came back. About right in there. This was all rusted out. You can see it's already, this one's already starting to rust. Of course, it's been 13 years, man. It's been sitting here for 13 fucking years. Anyway, you can see where I made the ends for them, welded them on. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to replace this. I probably have to take the fucking rear clip back out again, maybe. I don't know, I might be able to get by with letting it hang. Might give me enough room. But yeah, this one's going to be a little chore this time. I've done all this by myself when I put this rear clip back in here. Let me see if I can show you, but you can see I've just got it tacked in. It's not all the way welded in. And the reason I did that because I knew I would be taking it back out eventually. I was trying to line the rear end up everything by myself, and I was doing everything by myself. I'm lucky that the damn thing didn't fall on me. But I did manage to get it back in there and get it welded up. I didn't know exactly if I had it perfectly straight, so that's why I didn't weld it completely in. I just welded it in certain spots, so if it wasn't right, it'd be easy just to cut the welds and pull it back out. You see, I'd done all that on the brace before I put the rear end back in. And I had plenty of room at the time because I had the rear clip and everything was out of it. So this time when I go change that brace, and it's actually brace for this car, G-bodies from 78 to 88. So she needs a lot of work, man. You know, I started taking it apart, and every time I'd go take something off, I'd find more rust. When I go to fix it, then I'd find more, and it just got to where I was like, you know, I'm about to just cut the whole fucking floor out this son of a bitch and just make my fucking own floor out of steel and shit. Because it doesn't matter, because it's going to be a race car anyway. Speaking of that, this engine is just the engine that's been in this car since I sold it. When the engine blew up in it and I sold it, and the dude that I sold it to, which was a family member at the time, put this engine in it out of another Cutlass, like an 83 Cutlass. So I don't know how many miles or anything this engine's got on it. This used to be a good engine, didn't use a drop of fucking oil before I parked it and just started letting it sit. And I always knew it had like a little bit of a valve seal situation. When you start it up in the morning, it'd smoke for a minute and then it'd clear out and everything would be fine. So I bought new valve seals and everything, just never got around to putting them in because I was always doing something else, working on somebody else's car, and could never get to work on my own. So this is not the engine I'm going to be racing this car with. I've got a 455 in there. I've got a couple of old videos on it when I first got the engine and tearing it apart. And it's a good engine. I took the crank out, and I took it and had it turned 10-10. I bought oversized bearings. I've got everything to put the bottom half back together on it, everything. The only thing that's stopping me is I'm scared if I do it myself, I won't get my ring gaps right. And that's the only thing that's really worried me about putting that engine together. Every time I'd ever put an engine together before, I always had somebody else with me that was helping me do it. And so I'd never really could make a mistake because I was always working with another mechanic. So this is my engine here. God damn, it break my fucking neck, man. Motherfucker. Anyway, this is it's 455 Oldsmobile. And basically, I just need to clean it and put it together. I need to clean it up, you know, home the cylinders and shit, and put it together. I've got everything to put it together. All new rings, mains, rod bearings, seals, everything. I bought a brand new intake for it. And here's the radiator. Really nice looking radiator. The fans I've got stored up in the loft. I went and bought this piece of 20 gauge aluminum. 18 gauge piece of aluminum. 2x3, $40. is what I paid for that. 40 bucks. I told the lady when I was buying, I was like, you know, if I was to take this piece of metal right now and recycle it, I wouldn't get 50 cents out of it. And she's like, oh, I know. Well, I know too. And 40 fucking dollars. Come on, man. We got to get somebody in here that knows what they're doing about running our country. I'm sorry I said it. I didn't want to get into it. I've been keeping my mouth shut. But it's just at the point people can't even fucking live, man. We're 3 days short until I get paid. And I'm broke. I don't know what the fuck we're going to do, man, for gas. She's got to be able to get back and forth to work. She's got to have gas. You know, we got to have food. As it is right now, I don't even have enough money to go buy gas for my lawnmower so I can mow my yard for the first time this year. And it's ridiculous, you know. $3.69, I think it was today, for a gallon of fucking cheap gas. It's crazy. All right, guys. I was just gonna make this video here short and sweet. And we're gonna have a lot of videos. I'm gonna be first. I got a video coming up on this here. Hopefully here in the next few days, I'll have a video on this, and then I want to get back to. Right now I've got the garage, and the truck's got the garage, and there's no way I can pull this car in there to work on it and take the rear clip and everything out of it. I can't do it out here on account of the neighbors. So I have to do it inside. So it's going to be probably after I get this frame welded back together and get the gas tank back in and shit, to where I can pull this truck in and out of the garage to be able to put my Cutlass in there to work on it. So, all right, I wanted to say thank you to all my new subscribers. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, and guess we'll see you in the next video, guys. Later.